What would you bring back from the past? Imagine if the fashion of every era made a comeback in our time, all at once. The chaos of styles, corsets, baggy pants, cloaks, and jeans clashing in the same space. I'd absolutely love it, a true fashion frenzy. Capes. They always look cool, are often one size fits all, and best of all, they're easier to put on and take off than a jacket. What could be more stylish and convenient at the same time? Biodegradable packaging and plastic-free products aren't just a trend. They're a chance for the planet to breathe freely. A future where everything returns to nature without harm looks so much brighter. Things that will last a lifetime, not just a few months or years. The sense of belonging to a community is something we desperately lack today. I firmly believe it's one of the core issues of our modern world. For hundreds of thousands of years, our survival depended on the support, love, and interaction with our families and communities. We were united, and that unity ensured our growth and well-being. But in the past few centuries, everything has changed. Survival no longer requires people to be by your side. It has become far too easy to meet your basic needs while living in isolation. And while that convenience is undeniable, we've lost something vital, something that keeps us connected and makes life truly fulfilling. We are social creatures, and living in isolation is devastating for our mental health. How many of us have lived in the same apartment for years without even knowing our neighbor's name? How many parents are trying to raise a family almost entirely on their own? It's impossible for two people to manage everything alone. Building a family takes a community, one that supports, helps, and gives a sense of belonging. Modern society has convinced us that we can do everything on our own, that we're capable of achieving any goal without anyone's help. And when we fail, we're made to believe it's entirely our fault. Honestly, it's no wonder so many people are depressed. It's no wonder school shootings happen. It's no wonder the opioid epidemic is ravaging entire communities. This is a damn tragedy, and I hate it. I hate what we've been reduced to. Flasks are a modern must-have. Plastic bottles? Complete waste. Imagine how much better the world would be if everyone carried a stylish reusable flask, refilling it at vending machines, water dispensers, or even fountains. Less waste, more care for the planet, and it looks so much cooler. A laid-back, effortless way of living, where everything flows naturally, and more warm family gatherings filled with laughter, stories, and genuine connection. Video games that work perfectly out of the box, without a 70 gigabytes day one patch. Imagine, you pop in the disc and start playing, just like the good old days. Pure magic. Canes, overcoats, and stylish hats were once essential parts of men's formal attire. It was the golden age of men's fashion, where every detail spoke of elegance and status. Back then, style reached its peak, and no era since has ever come close to matching that level of sophistication. A guillotine for corrupt officials, the perfect symbol of justice. Elegant, efficient, and an idea that would make even the slyest think twice before dipping their hands into public funds. The removal of automatic expungement for minor offenses committed by juveniles is a troubling issue. Serious crimes, of course, require serious accountability, even for teenagers. But when it comes to minor, nonviolent offenses, it's a different story. Instead of being automatically erased, as it used to be, these records now stay in the system, potentially haunting these kids for years. I firmly believe that teenagers deserve a second chance. If the offense was small, they should have the opportunity to start fresh as they grow older. Everyone deserves a clean slate, especially at such a young age. Emo. Honestly, I have no idea where they all went, but I feel like a loner stuck in 2005, listening to My Chemical Romance and wearing Converse with frayed laces. Walks. A life where you look at the world, not your phone. Conversations where words are spoken in person, not through screens. Genuine connection, free from distracting technology. Silphium, the ancient Roman superplant that was literally everything. A contraceptive, a spice, an aphrodisiac, a perfume, and a medicine. It was so versatile and valuable that it was harvested to extinction. Imagine a plant that could have changed the world, and yet, we lost it. Or the art of building pyramids. How is it even possible that with all our modern knowledge and technology, We still can't replicate what the ancients accomplished. It's baffling, isn't it? Duels. Imagine. You stand back to back, take 10 paces, turn, and bang. A single shot settles who's right. I bet this would put an end to plenty of arguments, or at least make them a lot more exciting. Appliances you can fix yourself. That's what the modern world is missing. Our fridge isn't even 2 years old, and one of the hinges has already broken because it's made of cheap plastic barely holding together. My dad is a sewing machine mechanic and machinist. Whenever someone asks him what machine to buy, he always recommends getting an older model. Why? Because it's built to last, and even if it breaks, he can find or fabricate the parts himself. Modern sewing machines, on the other hand, are full of fragile plastic pieces that break faster than you can unpack the box, and they're often impossible to replace. Modern appliances have killed the spirit of repair, and that's sad because real quality should never have an expiration date. Kids don't always need to win or be the best. I work at a daycare, and honestly, this constant overpraising drives me insane. Participation trophies and everyone's a winner games do absolutely nothing to prepare kids for the real world. Failure is a natural part of life, and kids need to learn how to handle it. They should understand how to get back up after falling, not live in a bubble where simply showing up earns them a reward. Reality isn't that gentle, and it's better to prepare them for it from the start. I used to have several social media apps. Now, I only use Reddit, and even that is just for my hobbies. In the past, I could get stuck on Twitter or TikTok for an entire day, like I was trapped in an endless scroll. Honestly, I wish we could go back to a time when social media didn't exist. Now that I've limited myself to just one platform, I'm so much happier and have way more time for the things that truly matter. Breaking free from all that digital noise was the best decision I've ever made. Music that was genuinely better in the 80s and 90s. Honestly, even the 70s blow most of today's noise out of the water. Bring back real talent and the desire to create art instead of this endless stream of auto-tune and bass-heavy garbage. Bring back artists who treated their music like their own child, nurturing it, perfecting it, creating something that stayed in your memory for years. Chariot races, an adrenaline-fueled spectacle of the ancient world. Just imagine how epic it must have been. The roar of the crowd, the insane speed, the thunder of horses' hooves on the arena. It was basically the ancient Roman version of Formula One. And you know what? I'm absolutely convinced. We need to bring this back to the modern world. Low-rise jeans. I'd happily grab a pair. My butt used to look great in them. Classic car designs. That's where the real style is. I'm so tired of seeing the same Hyundai Ioniq everywhere. If only more cars like the Cadillac Eldorado or something similar were cruising around, it would be a true feast for the eyes. A little retro charm never hurts. The ability to start a family and own a home, regardless of your salary, that's something we're really missing today. It used to be so much easier. Finding a job was simpler too. Now, it feels like my skills or what I actually want to do matter less when choosing a career compared to what will provide better financial security for my family. Dreams and ambitions often take a back seat to the need to survive. It's that feeling of having to go where the money is, not where your heart truly wants to be. Democracy. Somewhere along the way, we lost it, and now it feels like all that's left is a shadow of what it was meant to be. Imagine a world where one person in a couple could work while the other focused on home and family, without any gender stereotypes or judgment. A society where this choice is seen as normal, not a luxury. Today, mental health is deteriorating rapidly, and much of it stems from the constant pressure to excel at everything, to never stop, and to always meet unrealistic expectations. My partner and I are both in grad school, earning above the average income for our area, yet we still have no idea how we could afford to have a child. Especially now, with the cost of living climbing higher every year. I'm self-employed, so the only option I see is to keep working, but with reduced hours. We moved far from our families for work, which means we can't count on relatives for help. I honestly have no idea how others manage this, especially those with lower incomes. It feels like an endless battle to balance work, family, and life, with no clear way out. Tesla's lost manuscripts are one of the greatest tragedies in science. Imagine, he wanted to give the world free electricity, but greed and the hunger for profit drove people to burn his laboratory to the ground. It's undoubtedly the second greatest scientific disaster after the destruction of the Library of Alexandria. Just think about the possibilities we lost. What could have changed in the world if those ideas and inventions had been preserved? Perhaps we'd be living in a utopia of clean energy and limitless potential by now. But unfortunately, history had other plans. If you agree with these Reddit responses, give it a like. Share in the comments what you would bring back from the past,